Oh, you can come here.
Thank you. Thank you, Attorney Tony. Again, a symbol of Tatak Duterte is you are seeing really a rule of government approach with DICT, DOST, and DTI, and of course our senior officials, but really our respective bosses, the undersecretaries and the assistant secretaries with us today. Mr. Butch, our partner, Butch Meili, and again, pleasant good afternoon. This is really a rule of government approach, and the DTI, together with the DOST and DICT, have just signed the implementing rules and regulation of the Republic Act 11337. This Republic Act, or the Innovative Startup Act, has the aim of fostering inclusive growth to an innovative economy by encouraging a culture of innovation and streamlining government and non-government initiatives in both local and international spheres. This law will also help create new jobs and opportunities, improve production and advance innovation and trade in the country as mandated by President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. If you recall, the law was signed together with another related law, the Philippine Innovation Act, that basically governed both the other production sectors of the economy and then pushing them towards more innovation, complementing this Innovative Startup Act. And this is just really a manifestation of our President's commitment to really level up the activities, production of goods, services being provided, and really creating more innovation, solutions to problems, scalability of business models, new business models, really presenting entrepreneurship, the entrepreneurship drive, encouraging the youth to adopt such mindset, the can-do winning attitude of the Filipinos. And the good thing here is that as we propose this to the youth, the young sector especially, we are really creating and generating more innovative solutions and offerings in our society. Through the newly signed IRR, the three lead host agencies will not only be guided on the implementation of the law, shall constitute a steering committee, which is really important, to implement the law. The agencies will also develop an overall Philippine Startup Development Program to be composed of programs, benefits, and incentives for startups and startup enablers. So this will be a continuing work in progress as we fine-tune and also adjust and hopefully increase the benefits that we can give to the startup community. The three agencies will coordinate with the Philippine Economic Zone Authority on the creation of Philippine startup ecozones to spur the growth and development of startups and startup enablers. Basically, our effort just to cluster the various components of the ecosystem, you know, from the startup players to the other benefit support providers, whether they're the funders, they are the product development, the ideation, the R&D, etc. We will try to co-locate them in an ecozone, of course following the benefits that can be accorded, and even special benefits that can be accorded to the startup players. So we are not limited by only fiscal incentives. This can also be mostly non-fiscal incentives. The three agencies will also manage a startup grant fund to provide initial and supplemental grants in aid for startups and startup enablers that have passed the selection and application process. While our partner agencies have their own roles and responsibilities to fulfill, DTI has the task of promulgating the rules for the efficient registration and assessment of startup enablers to be registered under the program. Moreover, we will initiate and coordinate with agencies involved in the regulatory process involving startups and startup enablers, endorsed by host agencies. The DTI, in coordination with DICT, the Anti-Red Tape Authority, and other agencies, will provide a venue for the ease of doing business, offering seamless business registration for startups. Likewise, we will remove regulatory, informal, and other obstacles to these businesses in line with 11032, the Ease of Doing Business Act. To this end, we will seek the establishment also of one-stop shops called Business One-Stop Shops or Startup Boss, offering end-to-end registration for startups. And you've been hearing us in the recent months how we work closely together with the DICT and other relevant government agencies involved in the ease of doing business as well as in registering the business. So, and the automation, the wonders of automation that DICT will provide. No? And further, we will coordinate with the respective LGUs and other agencies to our field offices for the processing of their application of permits and licenses. And we shall endeavor to really work towards replicating the best practices of the LGUs, which are now trying to compete with each other. They're offering 10 seconds, 10-minute business processing, no? Business permit processing and issuance. All again, this could also be, can generate some other startup ventures, no? Providing all these services for even for LGUs, no? So this is again one area where startup projects can be developed. DTI will also administer in coordination with our National Development Company, the investment arm of the government through DTI. We will try to have a startup venture fund, and frankly, this is something being discussed. The discussion has started on how the NDC can help build a fund and basically to also eventually co-invest in the winning startup ventures. And this will be there will be match investments by selected investors in the startups that are based in the Philippines. So these features are among the many that are part of the Innovative Startup Act, which will boost the growth of startups and the enablers. This also shows the commitment of the whole government in supporting the country's startup community, which would lead to new jobs and opportunities for our people and give them a better life. And that's the ultimate goal of our President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Maraming salamat po.